At Direct Service Garage Doors, we are your one-stop shop for all things garage door. From garage door repair and broken spring replacement to new garage doors and openers, we do it all. We're proud to be among the highest-rated local garage door companies in all of Central Arkansas. Our highly trained technicians are available 24 hours a day at no extra cost to you. So if you have an emergency, call us today, 501-244-3667, or visit our website at directserviceoverhead.com. Don't wait days. We'll fix it now.
All right. Here we go. All right. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? Welcome to the one and only Tuss Talk with Ty post-game show. The Razorbacks, well, they etch out a win here in round 1 of the 2023 NCAA men's tournament. Feels so good, man. Feels so good. I told you guys I filled out one bracket, or I just do one bracket. I do this every year, even though it's toast now. It's toast. I mean, we've had, what a day. We've had a couple of upsets. We've had one really big upset and another one, Virginia going down, along with a certain school out of the Pac-12 going down, holding the L. Pac-12 very well represented, it seems. SEC, I think, off to a decent start, right? Have they lost today? It's been nuts. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to really sit down and watch a whole lot of basketball. I had stuff going on, but was able to sit and watch this one. I filled out my one bracket. I changed it. I ended up changing it like 7 different times. It ended up being 7 different. It's all in vain, but whatever. I had Arkansas out in 5 of the 7. My final 2, I redid one before I went live yesterday. I picked Arkansas, and then I redid it again today, but I kept with Arkansas. So I stuck with my team. I say yesterday, and it was last night when I put my bracket back up. But really, really thrilled with how this one went out. I mean, Arkansas, it felt like they kept a double-digit lead the majority of this game. Way to do it. I mean, why not? If you're gonna go out there and control the game, control the tempo like the Razorbacks did, that's how you do it, right? This was very reminiscent of last year to some extent, although I can't remember. Oh boy! If anything, this kind of felt like the Auburn game a little bit in the tournament. Like you just never really felt like Arkansas was going to lose the game, despite the fact Illinois able to close the gap a couple of times. Arkansas had their largest lead in the first half, which I think was 14 points. Illinois able to chip down, and then Arkansas goes in at halftime with a good lead, with a double-digit lead, and then they come out in the second half, and Illinois cuts that lead down to 5 points, and then the panic starts to ensue. Discord, the same people, the typical individuals start losing their shit in Discord. Just breathe. I know we've been here for a while. I know we've been here. It almost feels scripted, but Arkansas found a way. They found a way to get the win. It was, listen, I'll say it was as good as it's going to get, right? I mean, as far as Arkansas playing at a pretty good level against a really good defensive basketball team. And that was without a lot of points from certain individuals, right? Nick Smith had just 6 points in this game. Nick Smith went 2 for 10. He shot 20%. He was 0 for 2 outside. He was 2 of 3 at the free throw line. 2 of his 6 points came from the free throw line. Nick Smith, I said it, you don't have to have Nick Smith to win this game. You can have other players turn it up. I really thought Devo, had he not caught those 2 early fouls, probably would be your leading scorer, but it ends up going to Ricky Council with Devo Davis. Tournament Devo, has he returned? Has he returned? All right. Shout out to sponsors, of course. Apex Tattoo Studio. You guys want some ink done? Apex they'll hit you up, man, or you'll hit them up and they'll do the job. They do good stuff. Let me pull up all my ad reads here. Apex Tattoo Studio, 201 South 19th Street in Rogers, Arkansas. Walk-ins are welcome. You get a discount if you mention Tuss Talk with Ty. $1,000 tap-out sessions are available. I think it's up to $1,000 appointments. Tap-out sessions are available. Call and book today, 479-278-2694. Direct service overhead. This show's very first sponsor. Shout out to Travis Ford and the boys. They offer same-day services, emergency service 24/7, 365 days a year, free estimates, quality parts, and affordable outcomes. That's Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Give them a call, 501-244-3667. All right. You know we got a super chat. Hang on. Aaron says, missed a couple of streams while on vacation, but back in full force. Love the minutes given from Kamani. Woo pig. Win and move on. Just win, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Super Chat is up and running. So if you guys want to do that, you can also join Patreon. Patreon right now holding steady at 49 people. I don't know if we'll end up at 49 by the end of the month, but boy, it'd sure be great to break 50. So if you want to join Patreon, that link is provided for you down below. Two Raw Entertainment. I love that name. Two Raw Entertainment. I love Turney Devo. Boy, I'm telling you, he's your leading scorer. He's your leading scorer if he doesn't catch those two fouls. What was that? Within the first 8 minutes of the first half, I think. Shout out to Austin for sharing the content on Twitter, man. I appreciate that. I really do. The heck with SEC pride. I hope Auburn loses by 50. I was rooting against Mizzou. I'm not going to lie. I was rooting against Mizzou. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. You still got some games going on here in a little bit. Duke and Oral Roberts. I mean, with the upsets, I'm just saying, Texas and Colgate, Houston and Northern Kentucky. Northern Kentucky, obviously the 16 seed up against the 1 seed. They're 22-12, taking on a 31-3 Houston team. You still got Tennessee and Louisiana. I believe that is tonight, right? Yeah, that's tonight. Alabama gets a win, big win over Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, 96-75. KU, Arkansas's next opponent, beat the brakes off of Howard, 96-68. Princeton with the upset of the tournament so far, number 2 seed. I said 1 seed went down. I'm sorry. If I said 1 seed, I apologize. Well, hold on. No, we know that we had an upset because we already UCLA UNC Asheville's tonight. That's 9:05 on True TV. Interesting. But yeah, UCLA coming up. Arizona going down was 59-55, the 2 seed going down to Princeton. I did not see that one coming. Furman over Virginia, 13 seed over the 4 seed, 68-67. It's just wild. San Diego State barely survived Charleston. I say barely, but it was 63-57. And Missouri got their win 76-65. That was a game there for a little bit. I caught a little bit of that game. And Maryland, the other 8 seed, 67-65 over 9 seed West Virginia so far. Rodney McHenry with the $5 $2 super chat. I don't know why he wrote 5.00, but appreciate it. I love the way our team plays when Smith is sitting. We play differently. You might be on to something there. I don't know. All right, let's get the Odd Soul poll up and running. You know what this poll's going to be. Hogs over KU, question mark. I want to know. There's your Odd Soul Tuss Talk with Ty poll. So there you have it. I want to see what you guys think. I want to know how you're feeling. I know some of that's going to be emotional. We might be kind of living in the moment positively on the positive side. On my bracket, I do have Arkansas dropping to KU. Now, that may change. He meant to type the 5 and gave the minimum. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Rodney, you can do another super chat for $3. How's that sound? It wasn't pretty, but they showed some heart and got the win. What I liked was they actually looked mostly, not perfect, mostly better in the final 4.5 minutes, which you guys know we've talked about quite a bit. As a team, they struggle in those final 5 minutes. They have time and time again. They've lost games. They've blown leads that were huge. They've blown them in those final 4.5, 5 minutes, make it a closer game. Either they win or lose those. Typically, it seems like they lose in the final 5 minutes. They found a way, despite Illinois getting a little hot, finding a way to kind of scratch their way back in it. But Arkansas made what they make in their final minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 of their 4 free throws, I think. I mean, it's good to see. It's good to see that they found a way to win in a game this is the most meaningful game of the year, right? This is the most meaningful game in the year, and they found a way to win it. This mattered. Is Tournament Devo back? Is this team going to – I mean, I don't really know what their identity is, but whatever it is, I think someone asked that question in our Discord a little while back, and that's probably the most on-point question. What is this team's identity? It's not any one player. It's how these guys play and mesh on the floor and what kind of chemistry and what they're doing on the floor. We know at times they can look like one of the best defensive teams in the SEC. During the season, there are times when you thought, damn, this team plays some great defense, and then it just melts away. During a game, it just melts away, and you kind of saw a little bit of that tonight. It's March, says Tripp. Anything can happen, or anything is possible. Struggled against the pressure D, says Anthony White. We got some Patreon members all up in this chat, loving it. Rhett with the Rhett, I don't know what's going on with you lately, man. You're living in negative town, my guy. I guess you were wrong, and now you picked Arkansas to get blown. Was that you that picked Arkansas to get blown out to KU? Right now, 64% of you think Arkansas is going to get past KU. 36% say no. It's going to be a tough one, man. It's going to be tough. Oh, there's Will Watkins with a $20 super chat. Tournament Devo is back. Love that. I wish I could push these push the comments on the screen. Yeah, I messed up. Says Rodney. He fired back with the $5 super chat, owning up that he missed it. All good, man. I appreciate it, Rodney. Thank you. Not blown out, just lose by 10. No more than 10, says Rhett. Okay. All right. Their last little spurt, Devo reached into their heart and yanked out that momentum with that steal. Again, if you guys haven't already, if you're just now hopping in here, take the Odd Soul Tuss Talk with Ty poll. God, I love that. That just kind of rolls off. It's a little long, but it turns out that it rolls off the tongue quite well. Odd Soul, located on Emma Street, which is Springdale's version of Dixon Street, but a little bit more quaint, a little more calm than Dixon Street. Not as many college students. But they're a craft bar, pizzeria, right there in Springdale, right down the road from me, actually. Emma Street, craft bar, pizzeria, fantastic pies, all kinds of local stuff, IPAs, you name it, man. Keep reading some of these comments. Ty, is KU going to be our toughest offensive test so far this year? They are a interesting 1 seed because they had some weird blowout losses. They were a weird team. Now, you guys know me. I'm going to take it a game at a time, right? We're going to wait. We'll talk about KU. We'll get more into the KU matchup tomorrow. We're going to talk about it. Now, I don't know what time I'm going live tomorrow. Please just make sure you've got that notification bell clicked. It could be a 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It might be later in the day. We're trying to get some stuff taken care of. Spring break starts for our kids next week. Also, my availability next week might be a little, listen, I'm going to just say right now we're entering that part of the year. It's been this way now for the last couple of years. Really coming out of spring camp for Razorback football, the times are going to be kind of all over the place when I go live. You just got to make sure that you have, obviously, that you're subscribed and that you hit the notification bell. KU is going to be a tough matchup. To face a 1 seed in the second round kind of sucks, but that's the situation you're in because you couldn't find a way to mesh especially in the month of February. You couldn't figure it out. 58% of you are saying yes, Arkansas is going to get past KU. Nick Smith is getting humbled in D1 games, says Wayne Bell. Well, I mean, he's had his moments. I'm not sure. I mean, listen, we know what he's capable of, man. I mean, he's done well against some really good opponents. People acting like this wasn't a big win. All things considered, this was a big win. All things considered, this was a big win. You saw signs of life offensively for the Razorbacks at times. Yes, streaky as always. Yes, but I believe wholeheartedly this was good. This was a big win. A lot of people thought this team didn't belong. There was a good chunk of the season where I said I don't know if these guys make it into the tournament. And it wasn't until the net rankings really fell in love with the SEC till we had to all change our minds based on what the net ranking was telling us. Like, well, now wait a minute. Net ranking is falling more and more in love with the SEC. And so a lot of people still, even in the later weeks of February, were saying Arkansas didn't belong. So this game was big for that reason, because if you're one and done, if you show up and you leave, yeah, that's going to be an easy argument to make. They didn't belong. But instead, they got past one of the best defensive teams. I don't know. Some people think this was one of the best defensive teams in the tournament. I don't know if that's 100% accurate. I know the numbers are pretty much in their favor in a lot of defensive stats, but to get in here to control this game the way they did, I mean, Illinois was able to cut into the lead. They were able to cut into that big lead, and it crossed my mind. It absolutely did. Those of you who have been here, okay, you've heard me talk about this for weeks. It's the final 5 minutes. It's the majority of second half play. The Razorbacks they're almost like a different team compared to the first half. A lot of it is adjustments, right? It's Arkansas's inability to get better play on the floor and to match up against those adjustments that have plagued this team. Illinois, they made a few adjustments. They really wanted to. They clearly took Nick Smith mostly out of this game. Again with just 6 points, he turned the ball over twice. No other numbers outside of a steal, but the 2 turnovers and 6 points. He had 2 fouls. He was 2 of 10. Not a great day for him. The only good number for him is his free throw shooting, which he was only 2 of 3. But you're going to take that because you're making 2 of 3. But still, that's 2 of your 6 points came from the charity stripe. Let me see if we're going over. Oh, we got another super chat. Will again coming through. My God, Will again. Look at you go. Ty's the only Hogs show anyone should watch. Support the guy, man. I appreciate that, Will. Really do. Appreciate that. It means a lot. Got a lot of people in here. Only 82 votes. 59% of you saying yes on the Odd Soul Tuss Talk with Ty poll. If there's a better name, you guys throw it out to me. But I think that works pretty well. Ty, if we quit making lazy passes, can we beat KU? Gonna have to minimize the mistakes. The turnovers they're so careless at times with the ball. So let's go over these numbers here really quick. Let's look at Florida first. Illinois. Let's take a look at the Illinois fighting Illinois. Let's take a look at what they did. They were 20 of 52 overall, 38% from the floor. Those are not good numbers, especially when you're shooting sub 30% outside, out in the perimeter. When you're 65% at the free throw line, that's not a good number. That number needs to be bumped up a lot when you're shooting poorly everywhere else. 38, 27, 65 percentage numbers are not tournament win numbers, especially the biggest tall tale sign here, 17 turnovers. They were +6 compared to Arkansas on the turnover margins. Now, they did end up with 10 assists to Arkansas's 4. We talked about that in the Discord halftime show. We mentioned that, not a lot of assists, but a lot of quick dribbles to the basket, a lot of easy buckets. I say a lot. There's several easy buckets in the first half around the post for Arkansas. They did a good job. How about Kamani? With the get off me with the get off me 2 points down low in the paint with 4 guys beating the hell out of him, and he still finds a way to get the deuce, to get the 2 points. Kamani just comes in with authority. Yeah, he only had 5 points, but he had 5 rebounds in the first half. I don't know how many minutes he got, but dude came in and was like, "No, fam, that's my ball." He played 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Had 4 offensive rebounds. 4 of his 5 rebounds were offensive. He was 2 of 5 overall. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, yeah, you would love for him to get more minutes and to maybe push the points up a tad, but he's not known as a scorer. What he's known to do is exactly what he did today in this ball game. I was really impressed with him. Pretty sure he got an and one. Did he not? Didn't he get an and one? You know how hard and ones have been for this team, and yet he got an and one along with just coming in and playing some fantastic minutes coming off the bench. All tongue twisted. Yeah, easy to do. Man, I'm telling you, Nick can get a double-double. I believe he can. Nick, you scored 73. You beat these guys by double digits. You had a double-digit lead for at least, 70% of this game without Nick Smith going off. Now, they had, what was their bench points? 6, 12, 14, 16 points off their bench, 5 steals, 4 assists. Looks like a bunch of rebounds, 4, 6, 7, 10 rebounds. I mean, their bench got some pretty good production here with just 3 turnovers. Yeah, but their 17 turnovers were killers. Hawkins turned the ball over for them 6 times. He did have 10 points. Their leading scorer was Shannon. Shannon kind of went off, but he got a lot of his buckets. I think he was – let me pull it up. Hang on. It just went off my screen. There it is. He was 10 of 13 at the free throw line, but he shot 50% overall. They were 6 of 22 outside, and their perimeter – listen – what's crazy about this game is this was probably some of their worst perimeter defense by Arkansas, and yet by the standard, it was probably okay perimeter defense. Now, Anthony Black had that tipped block off the three-point shot there that altered the shot. That's what happens. You guys ask, why is he a lottery pick? Oh, I don't know. He's 6'7". He can do stuff like that and plays the point guard spot, and he can drive often. Yeah, he turns the ball over a little much, but he can do stuff like that. He can alter shots out on the perimeter, even in the paint. He matches up pretty well, tends to get beat off the dribble, but at times also can play pretty good defense when it comes to those stand-up jump shots. You know, when they just stand up and try to put the shot up, he could go toe-to-toe with anybody with that reach. It's part of the reason what makes him special. Imagine if this guy found his outside presence. Imagine if this guy became a pure scorer. You know, from anywhere on the floor. I mean, he was a 5-star. He was a McDonald's All-American. He was known as a guy that could go off on the offensive end of the floor. Haven't really seen that, at least from a step-back 15-footer or outside shot guy. Haven't really seen that a lot. We've seen it at times. But what he did today in altering shots, he altered several shots today. Really impressed with that. Yeah, he got beat off the dribble from time to time, and I think the other issue you're going to have with him, you don't like some of the careless turnovers, but he only had 2, but both of them were pretty careless. Devo, who I still think, I want to give him MVP, but it's going to have to go to Ricky Council, but Devo turned the ball over just a little bit too much, 4 times. Yeah, you don't want that from one of your leaders on the floor and a guy that's going to catch a lot of minutes. You understand it as much as he had the ball in his hands today. Considering, the minutes. You don't like the 4 turnovers. You don't like the 4 fouls, but I tell you, you're digging the 16 points, the 4 steals, the assist, and 6 rebounds, along with an offensive rebound, by the way. Ricky Council had 2 of those. Council's going to get your game MVP simply because, yeah, he had the 2 turnovers that ties with Anthony Black and Nick Smith, but 18 points. He had a block, a steal, 10 rebounds, 2 offensive, 8 defensive. He's your MVP in this game. He wasn't the leading scorer, but for the Razorbacks, for the winning team, he came through big time. What if this is what Musselman saw in him all along, was that his ability maybe in the month of March, he felt something in his gut. Council, if Devo's going to be the guy, why not have another guy who could do something special? Those are pretty good numbers, man. From a guard, those are really good numbers. You're going to dig that. Especially a guy who plays mostly outside, right? Who's kind of hovering around, either around outside the post or out in the perimeter. Kelly with a $10 super chat. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Nick Smith, I don't know what that says. Jay, I don't know what you're saying there, brother. How you doing, Jay Massey? How's it going, brother? Ty, Charles Barkley just said if Arkansas can cut down on turnovers, Arkansas can be upset special. Yeah, and listen, it's not like they turned the ball over a shit ton today, right? 11's not horrible. We've seen Arkansas win games with like 15, 16 turnovers and maybe so-so free throw shooting. But in those games, it seems like you get really good bench production and maybe they kind of find their presence shooting. They're capable. But, yeah, I agree. Going to have to cut down those turnovers against KU. KU can explode on the offensive end of the floor. Considering, I mean, how many quad one wins did they have this year? It was an ass ton, but they also have a ton of losses too against quad one. I think they have a quad 3 loss, if I remember right, and one quad 2 loss. Don't quote me on those numbers. I don't have them pulled up in front of me. All right, so we went over Illinois' numbers, right? I love that they were able to kind of minimize a little bit from, Mayer, who only had 2 points. That guy didn't do a damn thing. We talked all about Mayer. This dude had 2 points, turned the ball over 3 times, 1 rebound. It was Melendez who came in and he knocked down those 2 3-pointers. He had 2 of 4, 50% for him. Hawkins was 2 of 6 outside. But again, what hurt them? I mean, 38% of overall shooting, 60-22 outside, sub 30% on 20 attempts or more, not good numbers, and 65% at the free throw line. Those are not tournament winning numbers. Even with the bench production, even with 3 of your 5 in double digits in scoring, and with 5 blocks too. We had a feeling this would be a block heavy game. I thought it would be in the double digits. That was actually going to be my prediction. One of my double or nothings was how many total blocks. I would have guessed like 12, but there were 9 in this one. That's still that's plenty. But the 17 turnovers, along with all the other stuff that I mentioned, huge for Illinois. Something they're kind of prone at doing. Offensively, they went on those scoring droughts, and it just killed them. Hit Ty's like button. Yeah, please do that. I'd appreciate it. Tiny's just shave his beard if they win. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I think my wife would probably leave me if I did that. Tiny's to shave his head if they get to the Final Four. If they get to the Final Four, we might have to do something. But we'll focus on KU next, right? I thought they would win this game. I picked them in my predictions. In my final bracket, I picked them to win. This wasn't a blowout win, but it was teetering on being a blowout win. I loved what I saw from them. I loved the way they scratched and clawed. Well, Illinois, the way they scratched and clawed back. But Arkansas, despite Illinois bringing this thing down to 5 points, Arkansas goes on this nice scoring run, and it just felt like at that point when they were able to increase that lead back up to whatever it was, 12, it was double digits. I know it was 10 points beyond. You felt pretty good. Like, wait a minute. We've not seen them do that very often in the second half, especially in the final 5, especially in those final 4.5, 5 minutes. And they did it. They did it, and against a really good defensive team out of the Big Ten, who was arguably the best conference in college basketball this year. So, impressed. Yeah, I'm walking away with this one, not just because they got the win, right? It could have been an ugly dub, and I would sit here and tell you, like, well, I don't know, you guys. This one was back and forth. It was a tough game. I feel a little bit more re-energized, but that doesn't mean I'm taking Arkansas against a very good. We know what KU's all about in the month of March. We'll have to address that one tomorrow. We'll talk about it again. I don't know what time. I like tournament Devo Tide, boy, don't we all? If he keeps doing it, my man, if he keeps doing that, if he can play like that, and you get those kind of minutes out of Ricky. How about Walsh? Walsh coming in, played with 4 fouls like the majority of the second half, and stuck with it, man. Really impressed by his play. So, Arkansas, not incredible numbers when you look at overall shooting. They were just 38%, 24 of 63. They were 3 of 11 outside. I would argue that's kind of part of their formula. Not a lot of 3-point shots. They made 3. I mean, and again, you consider their leads, you would think they would shoot a little bit better outside, but they were 22 of 29 at the free throw line. 22 of 29. Pretty good bench production, 16 points, 2 blocks. God, a lot of rebounds. 12 rebounds. 3 offensive rebounds coming from your bench from Makai Walsh, who had 2 offensive rebounds. But yeah, you won this game, it felt like, mostly because Devo Davis and Ricky Council on offense, Walsh on defense. I thought the Mitchell twins played better. Wasn't great. It's kind of hard to believe that that there's only 2 blocks between the 2 of them, right? You thought there'd be a few more. But, yeah, I really think you just won this one because you I don't know, you found a way to just figure it out in the final 4. The final 4.5 minutes. But 76%, 75.9% to be exact. The rebounding, 43 to their 34 rebounds, 11 offensive rebounds to just their 3. I mean, it had a lot to do defensively with Arkansas winning this game. I thought their defense, for the most part, was pretty damn good. Not great, not the best we've seen, but pretty good. Boy, they were really going after those steals. 12 steals for Arkansas in this game. Defensively, these guys were great. Again, Anthony Black, who kind of played his role, got some buckets at the free throw line, 4 of 6. Ricky Council, 11 of 12. 11 of 12 at the free throw line. My gosh, you're going to take that every time. Arkansas found a way to win this game, and it was mostly, I would argue, it's the steals, it's the turnover ratio, just 4 assists, and yet 11 turnovers, not a great number there, and they took care of business here. Where are we at on the Odd Soul poll? 63% of you on a whole bunch of votes. 63% of you believe they're going to get over KU. All right, we're going to test that. We're going to test that out in the Discord in the predictions. Wow. 63. That's actually, I figured it would be like 50-50. Interesting, but we are coming off a win. That is something to consider. Let's see. Graham on the first play defensively. Show us why he doesn't play. What are you saying? Why he doesn't get more playing time? Bad defensive rotation and allowed an open 3 made, says the unbiased fan, a.k.a. Brim Reaper. What about Brazil? Someone thought Brazil was going to play? Yeah, he was interviewed. He says he's good to play, but that's not how it works. We know how this is going to work. He's going to have to get it. He hasn't practiced at all. I don't expect him to play in the tournament. I don't. Now, if Arkansas made a run to the Final Four and into the championship game, which I'm not going over that bridge, but I still don't think he would play. I could be wrong. Joining Brad. Oh, I'm just wish casting. Oh, you're trying to think it into existence, are you? I'm with you, brother. I wish they could get him back. Oh my God, this team. Could you imagine? But at the same time, he's been out for so long, right? The narrative that some people push about Nick Smith, and I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, is that since he came back, Arkansas's been a little more wishy-washy. They're a little more inconsistent, right? That's kind of been the narrative. Again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that could be the case with Brazil. He's been out for so long, but I don't expect him back. I just don't see it. Even if Arkansas went on some crazy run, from what I understand, like Musselman has a way of when you're coming off an injury, especially something as serious as his, and all the stuff he had to go through, right? He has to go through a like trials and tribulation in order to get minutes or to even dress out for that matter. So I don't see him coming back. It's the narrative because it is true. Well, I mean, I don't know. I have seen after Nick Smith came back, it certainly looked to me like they found themselves on the offensive end of the floor, but they were still maybe even more so inconsistent. I don't know. Maybe there's a level of truth to it. We'll do at the end of the year, we'll do kind of another look at it, right? We'll take another look. We know at times teams highlight him. They want to take him out of the game. He's the emphasis. They know what he can do and what he's capable of. So that's also played a little bit of a role into what's going on, right? He's not necessarily always a net negative. He can be a net positive even without a bunch of scoring. Read my super chat. Oh, did I miss it? Oh, Lord. Hold on. Let me scroll up. I'm sorry. It didn't even pop up on my screen here. Let me scroll up. Ty, don't shave for nothing, bro. Head or beard. Sports aside, happy wife, happy life. God, isn't that the truth? Sorry I missed that. Let me scroll up, make sure I didn't miss any others. Looks like Kelly Williams with the $10 super. Yep, and then Fish. Okay, all right. See, and why can I not just pull up super chats? I don't know. I just don't know why that's not a function. All right, 64% of you. We've got quite a few votes in. 64% of you believe Arkansas is going to get by KU. Marco Leone says the ACL takes 9 months. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. No, Brazil is impossible. Right. Yeah, I think, we've kind of gone over that. Deflect. We have the talent and game planning to beat anyone, but can blow double-digit leads in 4 minutes. Yeah. Their defense is so wildly inconsistent. You just don't know what you're getting on the defensive end of the floor at times with them. But they go on these they'll put the opposing team, they'll lock them down. They'll fight, and it won't last forever because that's hard to do. And then they'll have games where the defense is just nowhere to be found. The Mitchell twins struggle, easy buckets down and around the iron. And I don't know. Again, it's why I think this team is so matchup dependent. Now, I thought this would be a tough matchup, considering Illinois has some size, considering what they could play with. I thought this would be a tough game. Remember, my confidence in this pick was low. I'll fully admit that. I may have picked Arkansas. My confidence was like 0.5 on a scale of 1 to 10, just simply because I don't know. And it's not fair to compare consistency because now you're in the tournament, right? Now it's like, can they carry this into KU with some consistency? Right now you're in a new building phase. But, yeah, I was a little bit surprised. I really was. It was a good game by Arkansas. It really was, all things considered. What's up with assists? A lot of quick scoring. A lot of just, a little bit of ball hogging. I thought there were a couple of times when guys just try to drive the lane and just throw the ball up, hoping for a prayer. There was a little bit of that tonight. Ty, your thoughts on the Mitchell twins playing together versus KU? Pair them with Devo, Black, and Council to start. I don't know what they'll do. I don't know what the lineup's going to look like. I don't know a ton about KU. I did light research when I thought Arkansas might get past Illinois in the game in round one. I could see them going with the Mitchell twins. Today the starting five was Kamani, Nick Smith, Black, Council, and Devo. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I'd be surprised if they went with Kamani as a starter versus KU. Now, he got 12 minutes and only had 2 fouls, which is also very unlike him. Kamani is the kind of guy he's going to play 5 minutes. He's going to have 2, maybe 3 fouls. I mean, we think Walsh kind of, as great of a defender as he could be, his freshman youth shows up, a lot of kind of silly fouls, and a lot of them are his fault. I would argue, they don't give him the benefit of the doubt, and he does play a little handsy, and the refs call him for breathing. That guy checks into a game, he gets called for a foul for checking into the game. That's just how Walsh's season's gone. But Kamani has been just as bad at times. He just gets so aggressive, and you saw it tonight. He provides a spark. He's jawing the defenders. If he's not getting it done with production, he's in your ear. He's in your ear, and he's just jawing away, and you see him like they've had to separate him. I think there was some pretty heavy jarring going on tonight. I think Kamani had something to do with it. I think it was a couple players, but that's just what he does, and that's what he is. The Mitchell twins provide you with a little bit more length. None of those guys are prolific scorers. That's kind of one thing you're missing in Brazil. Brazil could come off the bench. Whatever role you wanted him in, he could do it. He could find a way to get you 16, 18, 20 points. You're missing that. And games like Illinois where Brazil would have been huge, right? Not that you needed him tonight, but yeah, they're going to need the Mitchell twins are going to be needed against Kansas, against KU. Listen, Mackay had 9.7 rebounds. We can't overlook that. Mackay played a hell of a game. This might have been one of the best games he's played all year. 2 blocks, 1 offensive rebound, the other 6 being defensive. He had an assist, again, 9 points, only 3 fouls. I think you're going to see something with those two and John and Kamani kind of playing some more minutes tomorrow. Kansas against Kansas. I don't know what their starting five should be. Maybe we could talk about that tomorrow. But nothing would surprise me. Musselman's probably going to try and throw something at Kansas they haven't seen. I expect this to be the most, especially in a short turnaround, it's going to be the most dedicated Musselman's had to any game this year. And it wouldn't shock me if he does something crazy with his starting five. Or if he just, sticks with what he thinks works too, right? Or what has worked in the past. The Mitchell twins certainly played like they deserved to start, though, against Kansas. Really digging Mackay. Mackay had a hell of a game. Again, almost a double-double for him. 9 points and 7 rebounds with that assist. Not bad at all. Oral Roberts is already down 17. Oh, man. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that's kind of, in a way, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of pulling for Oral Roberts. Yeah, we have a time on the game, don't we? Don't we already have a time when Arkansas plays? No, I guess we don't. I thought we did. Nope. I don't know. I guess we'll find out tomorrow morning. I'm not real sure. Looking at these scores here, trying to see what else we got going on. Yeah, Duke's up 22-8. Iowa trailing Auburn. I think I picked Iowa 29-24. Still a lot of time left. That one's coming up on the half. $1:20 left to go there. I don't think it's been released yet. For some reason, I thought they kind of already had an idea and they slotted, or they already knew once the game was over what the time would be. I guess not. Put the crack pipe down. We are going to lose. Okay. We still can't shoot, foul too much, and turn the ball over too much. I guess KJ's talking to somebody in chat. I know he's not talking to me. Oral Roberts only has 5 points, 10 minutes. Yep. Mitchell twins, Kamani, Graham, Devo, and Walsh. That's your 5. Bot magnet. Baseball team, 10-game winning streak. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't we get a change in the time on that game for baseball? I thought I saw something. It says 4 p.m. March 17th, so I don't know if that's the same time as it was. Did they move it up or move it back? Are we supposed to have I know it was bad weather today, but I thought tomorrow was supposed to clear up. What's the old iPhone telling us? I'm looking at nice weather tomorrow. I'm not seeing any chance of rain. It might get a little, well, it could get a little cold. Okay. So they moved it up then, I'm assuming. It says 4. I think the original time wasn't it 6? Was that the original time? 6:30? Oh, yeah, okay. 6:30. There it is. All right. So wait, is that the new time? Damn it. I'm just going to pull up Razorback Baseball. Hold on. I'm going to get this straightened out. Let's see what Razorback Baseball's telling us. Time change. Here we go. Tomorrow's SEC opener will start at 4 p.m. Do the forecast. Okay, and cold temperatures. Yeah, there we go. We got it. We're good. I'm pumped. Yeah, listen, I'm not, again, if anyone thinks I'm picking Arkansas to win, hold up. Tomorrow, who knows, right? We'll find out tomorrow. Damn crack pipes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming he's talking to someone in chat. Let's see here. Did Connor grow more? I don't know. Yes, 4 p.m. says Marco Leone. Yeah. All right. So that's we're done. We're done here. We're gonna end the show here. Remember to like, share, subscribe if you guys are new. Hey, share the content. Share it to a brother-in-law. I don't know, to your uncle John. Share it. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Again, I don't have a time for tomorrow. Discord, I'll try to give you guys a heads up, and of course, I'll post on Twitter as soon as I go live. Make sure you're following me on the Twitter machine, and yeah. So I'm expecting to go live during the day, sometime between probably 11 and 1, but I've got some stuff going on tomorrow, so I'll do my best to keep you guys informed. So make sure you like and share on your way out. I appreciate the super chats, Patreon supporters, and of course, our sponsors. None of this is made possible without Patreon supporters and sponsors. Apex Tattoo Studio, Direct Service Overhead, and the Odd Soul. All right? Arkansas won. They belong. Now let's see if they can upset KU. Their next matchup. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. Woo pig. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Oh, shit. I thought I had the mic. My bad. I thought I had the mic muted. Yeah. On that note, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I thought I muted the mic. Damn it. How long did that take you, the initial edit? How long did that take you, talking about the actual graphic itself?
Right, so the whole design was probably maybe an hour. It was a but yeah, I had a couple friends ask me if I could show like a behind the scenes process of me putting together a design, and I don't know how much I actually revealed in that, the fact that it was sped up, 10, 15 times or something like that. So I don't know if they got to really see the techniques as much, but kind of gave them an idea of kind of how I play around with putting things together and what order I do stuff. So
the sped up process part of the editing, I was digging it. I was like, I've got to show that on the Patreon show. But Josh, I do, man, again, really appreciate you taking time. I know your window was a little short. You didn't have a whole lot of time, and I appreciate you coming on this Sunday afternoon.
I appreciate you having me on.